Hi, I'm Emily Flowers with the Divorce Lending Association, and I'm a certified divorce lending professional, or CDLP. This is part of our divorce literacy series, and today I'm here with Kate Borzillo, and she is a certified divorce coach. And I got to tell you, I wasn't sure what that exactly was until I started researching it and I met Kate. So let me introduce Kate and have her tell us a little bit about herself and what she does. Hi, Kate. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Emily. I'm very happy to be here. So I'm Kate Borzillo. I am a certified divorce coach. I also come from a background of being a family law attorney, a mediator, and a guardian ad litem. So I've had kind of a 20 some year experience of being in the field of law and divorce and parenting and all of those various issues that go along with that. As a divorce coach, well, I guess maybe start with the American Bar Association actually defines divorce coaching as a flexible, goal-oriented process designed to support, motivate, and guide people through divorce to help them make their own best possible decisions. So it is essentially kind of a one-on-one situation where I can work with people to help navigate the system in a way which helps them find other professionals that are going to be helpful for them to get organized and to just understand what the process is so that they can make good decisions for themselves and for their families and really be able to move forward in a healthy way, in a way that they want. In a way that they have choices instead of being kind of forced into making decisions that they don't feel good about, because this is hard stuff.
Exactly. And I was told kind of it helps people get past, the thing that they don't really understand why they don't want to do it, but they have to do it, so you help them get from point A to point B so
Yeah.
that they push past whatever's blocking them here, right? Because that's we get blocked up about things. I
Yeah.
just don't want to let the whatever go, right? And you're like, why?
Right.
So I love that, and I love all the hats that you wear and how they really make this whole thing come together, which seems so seamless and smooth to me. And in talking to you, your approach is just so soothing to me. So how'd you end up specializing in divorce?
Well, I think when I was in law school, taking the various classes that we have to take as lawyers, family law was something that immediately I found interesting. I really like people. I'm really interested in how the dynamics of families work, and that particular aspect of the law of being in a situation where I actually get to be with people every day to hear their stories, and also I think I've always been someone with kind of maybe an extra supply of empathy, and I know how hard this is. I know that divorce is one of the most difficult times, that people can go through in their lives. And it's an important thing for me to be able to be there for people for that. If my brother was going through a divorce, I would want him to have an attorney or have a coach, or a financial advisor who cares about him, who wants to explain and make sure that he is in a good place to be able to move forward with his life. And that's really always been my focus when it comes to working with people who are going through divorce.
I agree. I love just the expansion of your practice in so that it encompasses this. It's like I started out with law and then I kind of did this and then I just kind of kept doing this because of how it flows and the needs that you're seeing that need to be met. And so I just love that. So do you have any insight on a family that's contemplating divorce? Just tidbits that educate us, things like that.
Well, I'm trying to think where to start. There's so many different aspects, to divorce. There's the financial and social and family and parenting. I think where I would start. If for someone to come in to see me if they're in a place where they're contemplating divorce. It would be just to do my best to meet them where they are, and just to help people understand that, what those different processes are, that they're dealing with. I'm trying to think specifically. I would tell someone individually, this is a hard time. Take care of yourself. I always try to encourage people, as an attorney as well, to meet with a therapist, to have the support that you need. I always check in with people regarding, their family support, and who they have to talk to, as they're going through a hard time. And also, figuring out, what professionals would be most helpful, and letting people know that there isn't just one way to get divorced. I think because our legal system is set up in this adversarial way of, kind of me versus you. I think a lot of people think that they both have to go and get attorneys and just, go after each other. But that is not something that has to happen. There are lots of other options that people have. So I think that would be an important thing for people to know, is that you can go through this process and retain your humanity, and that's something that I want for you, and I think
Yes.
most people in the process want that for you as well.
Do you think you would start with the coaching first as opposed to, just going straight into it? Probably depending upon each individual client, but do
Yeah.
you think, besides the mental health professional, which I completely agree with,
Yeah.
um, maybe the coaching first and trying to figure out their why? I don't
I
know.
absolutely would recommend that. I
Okay.
would, because, part of the coaching process, or part of, the tools in our toolbox, is to help people understand that process so that they can start out making good decisions about the path they want to take.
Okay.
Um, and that also can help them figure out what other professionals they need, to be involved. If it's a situation where, they are already working to reach an agreement, with their other, with their spouse, and they both, don't need to hire an attorney, and fight about it, that they could go to mediation, or they could go talk with a certified divorce lending professional, to figure out, what they need to know in order to divide up stuff that might be more complicated than they understand. They don't necessarily need to go down a path where they're spending a great deal of money, or time, or, the kind of, kind of just emotional resources. They might be able to spend those resources on their families and their kids, and moving forward with their lives instead.
Yeah. Your outlook is so refreshing. I think people are really gonna appreciate your approach, because I don't think that your industry in particular is known for that. And
Yeah.
mine necessarily either. So I get that. And I love how, you're just trying to find the right resources to put together to make the experience complete, and to keep people or get people whole. That's a lot of what I try to do is just, okay, are we gonna be whole, or at least on our way to recovery by the time this is all over? You may not get everything you want, but
Right.
is it something that you can move on from? And you're
Exactly.
ready to like face the world. And I love seeing that. I love seeing the I just don't know what to do turn into I got this. I know what to do. And that's so exciting. And I know that you are just leading the charge there. Is there a particular case that was memorable? I know you can't speak, but in generalities that a divorce coach really made the difference um, in somebody's decision making process or what have you. Is there something memorable? It doesn't have to be a particular case.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, I did have a recent experience with a client who had come to me, I kind of at the beginning, trying to figure out, she had been in a kind of abusive, very, very, very difficult, emotionally, physically abusive relationship. And I think on some levels the decision had already, she knew that she needed to move forward, but really didn't know how. And was, kind of struggling with different, mindset stuff about what she should do. And for me as a coach, I don't have an agenda. I'm not telling anybody to get divorced. I'm not telling anybody not to get divorced.
Right. We're not advocates for divorce.
I don't have a horse in that race.
Right.
But what I am there for is to really help people work through that stuff, to make their best decisions for them. And for this woman, I think she knew all this stuff, about how unhealthy, her relationship was, and kind of what that was doing to her. And I think she just needed to really to work through it and to know how divorce worked, and who she needed to talk to, and kind of remove some of those barriers, and those unknowns about how to move forward. And we met for several sessions. We worked through just little stuff and big stuff, and got to the point where she was ready to meet with an attorney and move forward. And I just recently got a note from her about just what an amazing change this has been for her life. And I just I was it was amazing just to know that that this process really works for people,
Yeah.
that you
Makes a
can,
difference.
yeah, just that support, that knowledge, can really make such a big difference. And that was pretty amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I am so glad that we got to have this conversation and share it with so many people, so that they really can dive into the different resources that they have available to them, and that a divorce coach is really worth looking into and using during a very difficult process. Um, so I really, really am truly excited to have met you and to have you here. How would somebody get a hold of you?
Well, my divorce coaching website is Kate Borzillo, one word, .com. So that's a great place to get more information and get in touch.
Awesome. And we'll put all that in the show notes and all of that. Final thoughts?
I'm excited that you're doing this, Emily. Thank you for for being kind of a light in this community, who, helping people who are really dealing with, some of the most difficult times in their lives. I'm really happy to be able to talk about what I do, and I appreciate you providing that platform to share.
I appreciate that. I've been so excited about each of these interviews, and getting to meet the people that really do care, and they help so much, and really want people to heal and to come out of this whole. So that makes a difference to me. And I know it does to you too. So thanks again. I appreciate everything, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good.